was just thinking of the format again because every place I go is a little different. All the meditations after. That's right. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Big smiles. And big smiles from our virtual watchers as well. I'm going to, before we even start, I'm going to please ask for your patience because, as you can see, we are minus Samantha today. She has taken a well-deserved break on her birthday, celebrating her birthday today. So I'm going to be doing that too, trying anyway, and hopefully it all goes well. Thanks to Corey for setting up the sound system as well. So thanks, Corey, for doing that. And Winalee's help as well. And Winalee's help as well, yes, thank you. So we'll get started, and we will stand and sing our opening song, Prayer of the Child of Love, right on the front of your book.
Source of love, you flow through
invite you to close your eyes and just begin to relax. Drop your shoulders. And just tell your body to relax. Give it that cue. Let's take 2 deep breaths together. Breathing in and out. Breathe in and out. We rest in the certainty that divine love surrounds us and moves through us, as us, into the world. Each of us a radiating center of love, ever unfolding expressions of infinite mind. And this divine love guides us to health and abundance, peace and joy. And we give thanks that we are spiritual beings living in an evolving universe of order. We open our minds and hearts to new and fresh ways of knowing, allowing creative intelligence to flow through us, blessing us and blessing the collective. We know we abide in the omnipresence of good, and there is no limitation to the amount of good that flows into our lives and into our world. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. I want to introduce our special music today, Winalee Zeeb and Koon Williams.
Peace is the promise I make today. There's nothing greater for me to say than to lay down my fears, lay down happiness, and surrender to the peace I choose today. Peace is the gift that I give today. No easy shortcut, peace is the way. I will lay down my pride, lay down self-righteousness, and surrender to the peace I choose today. Oh peace today.
That was just beautiful. Well, we do want to tell people where that song came from.
Use the mic so they can hear me as well online. It's a dear friend of mine, Faith Rivera. She lives in Honolulu, Hawaii, and she's an amazing singer-songwriter and massive heart. Check her out. Look up Faith Rivera.
Beautiful. Just gorgeous. Thank you. So we're going to sing a song together again. Please stand if you would, and turn to page 38, and we'll sing together, Spirit and I.
I remember seeing your face. Hi. How are you? Yeah, thank you. You too.
Just a quick reminder, too, that you have your prayer connection card in your envelope, and if you have someone that you would like us to afternoon. Brett Koon has agreed to come back and see us again and impart some of his insight and wisdom. So please give him a warm welcome.
And I promised to wait for Mary here, so...
Okay.
Good? Okay. Let's see. I'm always usually wanting to say good morning because I usually do my talks in the morning, but I will say and get it right this time, good afternoon. Well, first of all, oh my God, the music was gorgeous. You guys should take that on the road. Seriously, I mean, that's good stuff there. I speak at Unity of Blue Water in Port Huron sometimes. They don't have any music there, and I finally said, I'm bringing my own. So I brought my own speaker, and we played at least one song, because for me as a speaker, it moves me into my heart to prepare me to hopefully to speak from that place. The talk today is called A Case of Mistaken Identity. And it came to me because I was listening to, if any of you are followers of Rupert Spira online, he was sharing a story, a metaphor, and it was so beautiful, and I really thought it just tells the story so well of kind of how we mistakenly approach life. So there's a gentleman by the name of John Smith, and John really loves theater, so he decides to audition for a role, and he wins the part of King Robert. So he ends up playing this role where he's the king. He has 4 children. The kingdom has its struggles, and the people don't have enough money to give, and so he's trying to take care of the people, trying to take care of his family, and just is really distraught. That's the role. So he plays this role for years. One day, a friend of his comes to the theater and says to him, he said, How are you doing? He said, I'm not doing so well. He goes, why? What's going on? He said, I'm having so many challenges with my 4 kids, and my kingdom is it's in shambles. I'm trying to collect enough money for the people. I can't take care of them. I'm not able to take care of my family, and I just really don't know what to do. And his friend said, you don't have any problems, John. The only problem is you've simply forgotten who you are. You've simply forgotten who you are. This is us. This is us. We're King Robert. We have come into this world and we've listened to everybody, including ministers, parents, teachers, all telling us that we're good at math, we're bad at singing, we should be more kind, we should be this, we should be that. And we've fallen into this role and we've identified with it like there is nothing else, right? That is our only separation from God. It's our separation from God because, we focus on trying to heal King Robert, right? That's our focus. We're trying to heal King Robert, but here's the thing. King Robert doesn't exist. King Robert doesn't exist. It's an illusion. It's a role that we've made up trying to discover the truth of who we are, and it's not who we are. So we're playing this role not aware that that's not us. And so we focus on awakening, we focus on becoming enlightened, but who are we trying to awaken? Who are we trying to enlighten? We're trying to awaken and enlighten King Robert. And the truth is, you don't need to do anything with King Robert. All you have to do is start shedding and letting go of these false beliefs that have locked you into believing that you were that. Maybe about a month ago, my dad passed. He passed back in 92, and he's come to me in my dreams at different times and coached me and guided me from the other side. So he was in my dreams maybe about a month ago, and he was in my dreams, and he told me, you're now a full-blown diabetic. And I feel a little emotional saying that. I've been pre-diabetic for a long time, and I'll expand on that a little bit. But so he comes to me and he says this, and I knew my body wasn't really responding well to sugar. It hadn't been for some time. For some time now, I haven't really been able to eat much fruit or any sugar at all. Sometimes when I was eating healthier, I could do better with it than other times. And so I got caught in this idea, and so it really caught me off guard, and I thought, wait a minute, is that really the truth? Am I really a diabetic? So, a lot of times we say, place like Interfaith, people that come to places like this have done a lot of studies, and most people recognize that they're not their bodies, I would say. Is that true, or does anybody believe that they are their body? And I'm not trying to now put you on the spot, and it's like, I might be the only one raising my hand now here. Does anyone believe that they're their minds? So here's the thing. We have this concept and this idea that we're not our bodies and we're not our minds because, after all, how could we be? Because when this body and this mind die, the physical body and mind die, then if that's who we are, then there would be nothing left, right? That's the reality. But we all feel, or at least believe in our hearts, that there's something more beyond this. Some of us know that. Some of us had maybe out-of-body experiences or whatever kind of insight or awareness that has given us that awareness that there's something more beyond this. But let me just give you an idea of how entrenched we still are in the body and in the mind, which is the thing that separates us from the truth of who we are, which is formless, non-physical conscious awareness. Formless, non-physical conscious awareness. So when you're talking to somebody and they say, how you doing? You're like, well, I'm feeling a little this. I've got this going on. I have been having some challenges with my kidneys. I have been feeling frustrated with this. And if you notice, not only you, but how everyone says this I is because we're still identifying as if we are the body, as if we are the mind. Think about that. You say, I'm not feeling well. Well, who are you? Who are you that is not feeling well? Are you the body? Are you the body? Because if you're not the body might not be, might be going through certain things, but the truth of who we are is in perfect health. Deepak Chopra, in his book, I get mixed up the title sometimes, I think it's Ageless Body, Timeless Mind, he says and describes in there that our body completely regenerates, every single cell, every 7 years. Everything is completely new every 7 years. Why are we creating it the same over and over again? Some people have had cancer for many years. Some people have been diabetic. Some people, my buddy has been blind in his eye for many years, very conscious being in many ways. And we were having this conversation the other day over tea. And it's like, we are manifesting exactly what our beliefs are, what our past beliefs are, right? We've gathered all these beliefs. I gathered the belief that said, I am pre-diabetic. And I believed it. And guess what? The universe responded and gave me the exact experience where I couldn't eat sugar. So even though I was told in my dreams, and more specifically, I'll say what my dad said to me. He said, when he's speaking, he said, I am now a full-blown diabetic, meaning him, not me. I took it to mean, as a reflection of me, that's what I am. My buddy, who's been a mentor and is my holistic practitioner, I was telling him about it, and he said, they've actually done studies that people with multiple personalities, they can measure, do a blood test with one personality that will have sugar or diabetes and the other personality will not. Think about that. We are creating everything based on our beliefs. The whole world, your universe, all of our universes are perfectly created for us, and we're fighting it, right? We're fighting against it. It's like, oh my God, look at all this chaos in the world. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all do that. But I'm inviting you to look a little deeper and say, what is the chaos within myself? What have I believed? What role, King Robert role, am I taking on that keeps me experiencing this over and over and over again? So I will tell you honestly that my dad saying that he was saying, I am a full-blown diabetic, was a tremendous gift for me. Because in my mind, in my awareness, I knew that we create, our beliefs. So I'm like, why do I want to continue creating this? So every time I think about, well, I better be careful about my sugar, and I'm still being conscious. I still want to take good care of my body, so I'm being conscious and aware of that. But we could even get into that part of it as well. But, the thing of it is, when I would hear, I'm a full-blown diabetic in my head, I go, is that the truth? Am I my body? How could I be a full-blown diabetic if I am not my body? How could I be distraught or frustrated or angry if I am not my mind? This is the beautiful teaching of self-inquiry. The self-inquiry keeps prodding us to ask the question, who am I? Who is this I that keeps presenting itself? And you will see, if you just practice it, even for a day, you will see how many times the I pops up. Boy, I feel really cold. Do you? Who is the I? Who is the I? Is it you or the body? I feel really hungry. And it's, look, you can still feed the body. It's okay. You can still keep the body warm. It's okay. You can still feel frustrations. You can still feel anger. It's okay. But you are not that. That's the difference. How do we step out of that? One way is through self-inquiry, where we keep asking, who is this saying, this I? Where's this I coming from? It's there to teach you. Having this idea that I'm a full-blown diabetic is fantastic, because it's caught my attention enough where I am constantly asking, who's saying that? That's not me. And it's really helping me to come back to this truth that I am not my body, I am not my mind. And it keeps deepening and deepening the process for me. Last night I had a dream. I don't know if any of you follow your dreams. It's really, most of the time it's actually not good to follow dreams because we analyze them, we get in our heads, and it kind of takes us out of the moment. But sometimes I can't ignore it. Last night I had a dream where there was a bunch of puppies in it, and I love dogs. And to me, dogs represent unconditional love, right? It doesn't matter, you can be angry at them or whatever, and you walk back in the house and their tail is still wagging, that's a beautiful thing. In fact, my wife and son and I, we've had different dogs, and one will pass, and I need like a couple of years just to adjust, because it's hard to go through, and then you see them at the very end of their lives, and it's just, it can be challenging. So my son and wife and I, we go for walks, and every time we pass by a dog, my son would say, Dad, do you have to pet every dog we go by, I go, yeah, I actually do. I really do need to. It's like, just get a dog for God's sakes, So I have these puppies in my dream. And I also have where the puppies have pooped and peed everywhere, right? So if you're thinking, oh, wow, what a nice fluffy dream, well, there's some good fluff in there. I'm grateful for the unconditional love, but I'm also aware of, that there's being a mess that's kind of left behind that I need to clean up as well, right? And to me, that was the metaphor. My son, who I sometimes speak of, I totally love my son. He totally loves me. And he's 24, and he's finishing his degree in our home. And he had went up to Michigan Tech. COVID came along. My mom got sick. So next thing you know, he's moved back in with us, And he can be a little critical. And so he so I'm in Trader Joe's, we're in Trader Joe's, and I'm getting one of the samples, and I go to put the little cup in the trash, and I see the trash is like flowing over, and I just said to the girl, I go, I don't know if you know, but your trash is flowing over, you know. And she said, oh, okay, thanks. She said, I didn't know that, I just haven't got to it. I said, okay. So I walk away, and my son's like, Dad, why do you have to say that? I'm like, what'd I say, you know? And he's like, she knows, because he works at Starbucks, right? So this is something that would annoy him. Like, I know the trash needs changing. I'm busy, and I will get to it as soon as I can, right? So he's offended by this. And I'm like, well, deal with it. That's what I said to him, you know. But the truth is, that's not how I want to be with it. It's not. And you know, we could get into a kind of a mental discussion as to whether that's right or wrong. I don't want to go there, honestly. I don't want to go there because, to me, and this was what the dream was kind of representing, you know, it's like I end up seeing in my mind how I was feeling really frustrated with my son because he had judged me for a few things, and I was taking it personal, and I'm thinking, he's living in our house, and I'm ready for him to go, and, you know, and he's judging me, and I'm tired of being judged, and I'm going to nip back at him if he's going to judge me, you know. And then I noticed who was saying that it wasn't me. I noticed the I in there. My mind had convinced me that this was the truth and that I was angry, I was frustrated. And as soon as I was able to look at that, then I was able to see, is this the kind of posture I want to take? Because my son, he goes through some struggles. He has social anxiety. He has diagnosed with sleep apnea at age 24. He has ADHD, which he was diagnosed with. It's legitimate, 4-hour test. You know, so he's going through these struggles. And I heard him say one day, you know, my wife had said something, and he said, really, Mom? He said, I hate life enough. Do you have to tell me that too? That breaks my heart. And I know I can't serve and support him by coming from my head that is not me, coming from these false beliefs that are not me. So if we're truly to play a bigger game, if we're truly to come back who we are, then we have to ask ourselves the question, anyone we're judging, what does this have to do with me? And I will tell you, it has everything to do with you and nothing to do with them. Everyone is a perfect reflection of us. Everyone. And the more we can take ownership of that and stop pushing it away, because as soon as we make someone else or something else the problem, you've now given your power away. You can't be happy, right? Because you're waiting for this person or this thing to change. We have to see that. And if you truly want to come back home to who you are, if you truly want to live in a place of peace and joy and love and one with God, then the question is, would you be willing to take ownership of that reflection and say, what is it that I'm holding on to that's not true, that's keeping me locked into my role of King Robert? What is it that I need to do to step out of it and come back home to John Smith or whoever I am, to come back to that place? We literally are manifesting everything that we need to manifest, actually. We need to manifest it because all the manifestations are simply a way of helping us to be clear on what is blocking us from living as the truth of who we are. So I manifested being a diabetic, and it's been absolutely perfect as a way, because I don't want to stay in that place, right? I don't want to stay in that place of being a diabetic. So it's been the perfect catalyst that I needed to help me to realize I am not my body, and there's no way the truth of who I am, can be diabetic. There's no way. I don't know when it was, 2015, I guess it was. I had Spirit come to me in March of 2015, said, on November 5th, you're going to step into extreme, all they said, they didn't say you're going to step into, all they said was extreme happiness. And I'm like, well, that sounds good, you know. But I wasn't sure, like, who's saying that? Because you know, we get these messages, right? But sometimes they're subtle and our mind gets involved with it. And it's like, was that real? I kept getting the message over and over. And then I heard, write it down on the calendar, you know. So I'm like, okay, this must be something important. I've never heard that before. I write it down on my calendar. Of course, my wife eventually sees it and she's like, what is he up to now, you know? Extreme happiness, you know. And of course, my mind went to, you know, oh my God, I am going to be enlightened. By November 5th, I will be enlightened. So I took it serious in the aspect that there was something Spirit was bringing to me. And I took it to heart. And you know, in that moment, it actually happened one day earlier. It was on November 4th that I completely stepped out of my body. I stepped out of my mind, and I was just a complete witness to life. And it was effortless. I was watching all these thoughts that I had, all these fears that I had. I haven't, you know, able to view the body from an outside observer, knowing that that's not the truth of who I am. And it was in that moment that I totally realized with God, all things are possible. And that means stepping beyond the mind so that you can see, you know, we're created in the likeness and the image of God. So when we step beyond, when we transcend the mind, we're able to see this clearly, that we have always been everything that we have been seeking. Everything. And what is it that people are seeking? Everyone. Every single person wants to be happy, right? Even the person that's greedy, that wants more power, the people who are looking for God. We look for God because we believe God will bring us happiness. If we thought God was going to bring us great misery, there wouldn't be a lot of people in here, right? So everyone wants to be happy. And we have that hardwired within us. But we've been seeking happiness from the role of King Robert, right? We've been seeking happiness from the role of King Robert. And I want to tell you something. You will never, ever, ever find true happiness from King Robert's role. Never. Because it'll be here and then it'll be gone. Because it's outside of yourself. We have to have something that is an eternal truth. And you know, you can get more money, a great relationship, the right job, and you can travel the world, you can be famous, you can be all of those things, but they're all just temporary. The only way to come back to the eternal truth and eternal joy of who we are is to step out of the role of King Robert. So again, I mentioned self-inquiry is one of those. Meditation is another beautiful way of just simply observing the thoughts, observing the feelings, observing the body. That's what we're doing. In meditation, we are practicing on how to live our life as a meditation. Because your meditation doesn't end when you open your eyes. Your meditation doesn't end. It's about teaching us to simply notice, oh, okay, I'm stressed, I'm buying into something that's not true. Let me just simply notice that and come back to the moment, come back to being aware of the breath. So that's another way. Another beautiful way that I love to do is the I am meditation. You can just do this where you can simply breathe in I and you breathe out M. I am. I am. And so you can do that either with your eyes closed, or I even sometimes will come back just to bring it back to the moment. And for me, it's just like getting even in the prayer position. I am. And it brings me right back to who I am. And so another way is, it's really beautiful and powerful, is just anytime you're having stress, give it over to God. Just keep giving everything over to God. All your struggles, all your burdens, all your worries. It's a wonderful practice. And God is more than happy to take it from you. And we could talk about, you know, the oneness of God and things like that, because, you know, the more you step into the truth of who you are, you'll see that you are that. You are everything that you've been seeking. But until the seeker is kind of swallowed up by the truth of us, meaning that it's great to seek until you realize that the seeker is also coming from the role of King Robert, right? King Robert is like, how do I get out of this mess? But the awareness, conscious awareness, the essence of who you are is saying, I'm not the mess. There's nothing for me to leave. There's nothing for me to get out of. Do you hear that? There's actually nothing for you to fix or change, except for to become aware that you were never King Robert in the first place. That's all. That's the awakening. And so we spend a lot of time, and it's okay, but we spend a lot of time trying to heal issue by issue of King Robert, when the best thing to do, like my teacher used to say, is stop cutting off all the branches of the tree, just remove the tree from the root. And that is transcending the mind, recognizing that you are not the mind, you are not the body. And when you recognize that, it doesn't matter how many issues King Robert has. King Robert can be the messiest, most disgusting, evil person in the world. You are the witness to that. I hope you hear that. Because you are not King Robert. You are not all these issues. You are not all these shortcomings. You are not all these evil thoughts. I am not enough. I am not this. I should be that. That is all King Robert. And so for you, I offer to you, come back to who you are and just be a witness to King Robert. You don't need to fix or change him. There's nothing to fix or change. All you need to do is simply be a witness to that. Namaste.
Namaste.
And now we go into meditation, right? And if anybody has any questions afterwards, please feel free to ask me about it. I really love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. Because honestly, when I'm up here, it's just such a great reminder for me. True for you too, Mary? It's like, you know, because I come up here and I'm speaking from that essence of who I am. I feel it, and it always is transforming to me. So I'm like, how many talks can I fit in a month, you know? One time, last time I spoke here, I think I spoke here, and then I drove, I did Kalamazoo, and then I came back and caught this on the way back. So, any case, so let's meditate. And Corey, if you would, thank you so much. So just, if you haven't already, just allow your body, your mind to relax. Just your entire King Robert to relax. And that's really what it is. Just allowing King Robert to relax, because you are a witness to that. Just be observant of it all. And most likely, the more you are witnessing, you will see that the body begins to naturally relax. You will notice that the mind will most likely become a little more still. But it's okay if it doesn't. It really is. The mind can be full of thoughts. It can actually even be full of bad or evil thoughts, because you are simply the witness to those thoughts. And the feelings only come along if you believe the thought. So I'm inviting you to just observe all of it. There truly is nothing to fix. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with anyone else either, other than they've bought into the same idea that we have. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. This is all simply the play of life. To step away and feel and experience the pain of our separation from God and separation from ourself. And that can be tremendously painful, to be separate from ourselves. There has been some sages that say, look for God and you will find yourself. And look for yourself and you will find God. They are not separate. So I invite you to just let go of all these self-images. Let go of all these ideas and opinions and beliefs that you have collected to say, this is who I am. And I'm never here to try to convince you of anything. I really am not. What I hope to do is offer you a way back to yourself, though. And that way is to let go of these false beliefs that have created Maya, or the great cosmic illusion as to who you are. Because who you are is naturally joy, is naturally peace, is naturally love, is naturally truth, is naturally God. You are everything you've been seeking. But don't just believe me on that. Empty everything out and you discover that truth for yourself. And you see what's there. And you will see that you are perfect, absolutely perfect, exactly the way you are. And so just bring your awareness to your breath right now. Just noticing. Notice the breath happens all by itself. It doesn't need any prodding, which is why it's such a beautiful tool for meditation, because all we need to do is simply observe it. Just observe it. There's no effort required for this meditation. Just awareness, that's all. Awareness doesn't take effort. You don't need any intelligence to be aware. You didn't even need to read one single book to be aware. And it's okay that you have. We've all been searching in some ways until we realize that even the seeker is not who we are. That we are beyond the seeker, because as the essence of who we are, there's nothing to seek. There's nothing to find. You are that. Please be gentle and compassionate with your King Robert today as you step back into that beautiful truth that you have always been. Namaste.
This is my soul desire. further, deeper, higher. This is my soul desire.
This is the time in our service when we pause and fill our hearts with gratitude. The gratitude that we are. Remembering all the blessings and abundance in our lives. And remembering just how grateful we are for each and every one of those who generously gives to the fellowship to keep us going through our 41st year and beyond. So as John comes around with the basket, we'll do our gratitude chant. All of the names and situations and conditions that appear on the cards in the basket today. And I invite you to embrace Brett's message today as we see these beautiful beings, not as King Roberts, but as who they truly are. And we see them through our eyes of who we truly are. Where there is no sickness, no confusion, no hurt, only pure love. And we embrace everyone with this love, limitless and unconditional. May they feel this love in their hearts because together we do know that all is well. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. We have one more song to sing together today. And I invite you to stand if you're able. Turn to page 45, and we'll sing together "Breathe." Today. I want to thank Corey and Winalee for the beautiful, beautiful music, beautiful songs. They do indeed bring us into our hearts. Yeah. It really, really does. Thank you so much. And thank you, Brett, for your message today. Is there anyone here who didn't need to be reminded of that? I didn't think I'd see a hand raised. Yeah, and I love the King Robert character. I'll remember that one. Thank you so much. Thank you also, virtual watchers. And I think we did it. I think we made it happen. And I didn't see any problems online. So thank you for joining us today, too. I just have a few announcements. First of all, I want to let everyone know that we had an absolutely wonderful, wonderful gratitude dinner last night. So many attended, so many brought delicious soups and food and donated to our fundraiser. We ended up the evening with $520, which was amazing. Death Cafe is coming up Saturday the 18th at 2 p.m. at the Fellowship office. A reminder, the alternative holiday sale is coming up the 17th and 18th. That's a Friday and Saturday. Friday 5 to 9, Saturday 9 to 5 at Edgewood UCC Church, 469 North Hagedorn in East Lansing. It's really a wonderful event, and they have food. You can browse through the vendor booths and have some lunch and maybe begin to get yourself in the Christmas spirit. We'd like to see you there and supporting the fellowship booth. We also want to remind everyone that Healing Movements is now at 4:30 on Mondays, every Monday at the fellowship office. That's a new time. No sound bath session has been scheduled for November yet, and I kind of doubt that it will with Thanksgiving and everything going on. And we have our collection for the Refugee Development Center Christmas Outreach Project. I didn't find the jar, but I think it's in the cubby in there, and I'll grab it and bring it out. If anyone has change in your pocket, bills you want to put in, or checks, all is welcome. And that's all for today, except for our wonderful peace circle and closing blessing.
Mary?
Yes.
We're going to take a break from the Healthy Living class because it's getting so busy for everyone. We're starting up again after the first of the year. And we're looking for voices who want to join in and sing a couple of songs during holidays. So anybody that wants to sing with us, come and see me.
Perfect. Please do. Yes.
There's chocolate chip cookies out there that my son made.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sue. Thanks so much.
And Mary, could you mention?
Yes. Thank you, Brett, for reminding me, even though I had it in my head.
Oh.
Okay. Would anyone like to go to Bali? Well, Brett is part of a retreat, a Bali meditation retreat called The Magic of Release and Renewal in February. What a perfect time to go to Bali from Michigan. There are flyers out on the table out there, so please pick one up if you really want to manifest that and make that happen. Thank you, Brett. All right, let's get into our peace circle.
I think Mary's going to join us, so hopefully.
Yeah.